We just pulled our daughter out of public school this year. And it's probably not for the reason that you think. It wasn't because the education system is bad, it wasn't because of safety, and it definitely wasn't because El Salvador doesn't value education. In fact, I actually think the curriculum here is stronger than what we experienced in Canada. So, why did we make this decision? Let me explain. Buenas tardes, mis amigos, y bendiciones para todos ustedes. Good afternoon, my friends, and blessings to you all. My name is Charity Hagenars, and bienvenido a mi canal if you're new here, y bienvenido de nuevo if we're already old amigos. Y si no habla inglés, hice este video también en español, solo para ti. And if you enjoyed this content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And I'll give you an update on Maria and the boys at the end of the video. Do y'all remember the interviews I did with my children when they initially started school for the first year, and when they finished that first year of school, and then again when they started school for this year? Let me refresh you on Anneke's interview.
The thing that made me nervous this week was seeing if my teacher was nice or not. My teacher speaks English a little bit. I do not feel more confident with Spanish this year. I've not made new friends, and it's because everybody is the same. The hardest thing of not fitting in is not speaking the language. At the end of the day, I have a really favorite subject.
Is it called recess?
Recess is not a subject. It's a jailbreak. The best part of the school day is going home.
Now, many of you have mentioned that she didn't seem happy, and you were right, she was not adjusting well. When we moved from Canada to El Salvador, we made a very intentional decision. We didn't just want to isolate ourselves. We didn't want to live in an expat bubble. So we enrolled our children into a local public school because our goals were very simple. Help them learn Spanish and help them make local friends here. Help them integrate into the culture. And honestly, we were excited about the education too after we had seen their textbooks last year. Let me say this clearly. The education system here is not the problem. If anything, I've been impressed. The expectations are high, the material is well structured, there's a strong focus on fundamentals, and no gender confusing material like we have in Western countries. So they are more aligned with our Christian faith. We're actually continuing to use her Salvadorian textbooks at home. That should tell you something. Because I've seen the opposite too. I've watched those street interview videos from the USA or even Canada where adults can't answer basic geography, history, or math questions.
Can you name any country on this map?
Honestly, my geography is so horrible. I can't name anything. Like
Try
nothing.
naming something.
Is it South Africa?
Nope.
What language do you speak in Europe?
European.
What flag's this?
China.
No, what the hell, Chrissy?
Wait, it's not?
No.
Name a country in Africa.
There's no countries in Africa, right?
You know how many states make up the United States?
50.
You know what the capital is?
Of
United States?
Harrisburg. Oh, is there a capital in the U.S.?
Who fought in the Civil War?
The Civil War? Wasn't it... What's his name? Kennedy? Kennedy's...
Yeah, Kennedy against who?
I don't.
Do you know what the letter O on the periodic table stands for?
Nah.
Take a guess. What do you think it stands for?
Octopus.
Yes. Do you know what the third month of each year is?
February.
Yes. Do you know what year the War of 1812 was?
I'm gonna say 1825 maybe.
Yes. Do you know what 3 times 3 times 3 is?
3 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3, 18?
Yes. Well, do you know what day we celebrate our Day of Independence here in America?
Name a country in Europe.
Wait, isn't Europe? Paris. Isn't Europe? Wait, Europe is a country. Yep.
Europe's a country?
It is a country. Europe is a country. No. Yes.
Name a country in Europe.
London. Oh, that's not a country. I'm done. Is that a country?
Wait, London?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
London is a country, yeah, correct. Well done.
Oh, you mean right the first one? That was so stupid.
Well done. Bosh. Right. Name a country in the USA.
California.
What country is the Queen of England from?
What is the country? Canada.
Big brain Americans.
Do you know what time this is?
5, 10, 15, 20, 2:45.
Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah.
Japanese.
Do you know what 15% of 100 is?
Probably like 75.
Do you know what the third month of each year is?
Ain't that leap year or some shit?
Name all the months.
September, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Do you know what year the U.S. was founded?
I'm gonna say BC. I'm gonna keep it at BC era. 1800s?
BC?
Yeah.
How many moons does the Earth have?
30? I don't know.
Do you know what 33 divided by 3 is?
No, I don't know.
Give me a guess, a number, around one.
I don't know, 5.
What two countries border the USA?
Isn't the North Pole below us?
Yeah.
What is above us? Is it Europe?
And you start to wonder, what's going wrong there? There's something definitely wrong. So no, this is not the system is broken story. And if the children do not learn the material, they do not pass the grade, unlike in North America, where kids are graduating that cannot even read. So the real issue for us was communication. Last year, there was almost no communication between her teacher and me. Also, there was only one class for grade 4 last year and grade 5 this year. So it's the same kids in the classes that she had last year as the class they had this year. Her teacher last year was absolutely horrible and no longer works there. And that may or may not have had something to do with my complaining that there was a serious lack of communication with him. So all those kids who passed grade 4, like my daughter, may or may not have been prepared for grade 5. I'm just saying this because it might explain some of the current teacher's behavior. My daughter was not prepared for grade 5 in Spanish. She learned very little Spanish last year and was struggling this year. This year there was too much communication, but still no clarity. We would get constant messages, and this time I added my husband to the WhatsApp group, but we still didn't know what was expected of Anneke, what she was actually supposed to be doing. A lot of it came through voice messages on WhatsApp. Now, that might sound small, but it's not when your first language is not Spanish, because they're harder to translate. They're often unclear and very noisy background, hard to make out what she's saying, and you can't quickly reference them later on. So we found ourselves constantly asking, what is the assignment? When is it due? Was Anneke already told this in class? Or is it my job to tell her? And I was relying on my bilingual friends just to understand basic instructions in these WhatsApp texts. At that point, it's not just a language barrier, it's a communication breakdown. For one assignment, her teacher sent a poster in WhatsApp, along with voice notes, and along with photos of the whiteboard she took in class. I was so confused on what Anneke was actually supposed to be doing, mainly because the poster was for a competition with the software that they use for reading in school. It's called Fiction Express. And I wasn't even sure if this was a mandatory thing or maybe for just extra credit. And I had to upload all the information into ChatGPT to try to make any sense of it at all. And even though the poster said kids can submit for the competition, the teacher treated it as if it was a mandatory assignment. Now, also the teacher and I didn't get off to a great start this year. I was trying to talk to her at one of the parent meetings, and I'm not sure if she realized that I understood one of the things that she was said or not, but the teacher made what I would call a little bit of a snarky remark to me saying that since Anneke lived here for 1 year already, she should already know Spanish. Now, I can tell you that that comment pissed me off a little bit, especially because this teacher was supposed to be teaching these kids English, but could not even have a basic conversation with me texting in WhatsApp, okay? But I'm sure if I sent her to Canada for 1 year, she would come out completely bilingual, right? Exactly. Now in Canada, the system just worked differently. The teacher communicated directly to the students, and the kids knew what they had to do. They knew what their expectations were. Parents weren't acting as a translator or middleman or an interpreter of what the assignment is. And right now, I never knew, was Anneke already told this thing? Am I supposed to explain everything to her? The uncertainty creates stress for both of us. Let me give you a real life example here, okay? On Friday, May 1st, it was a holiday here, it was Labor Day, we received a message that a new Fiction Express book would be available to the children to read online. That's great. Thanks for the information on this holiday Friday. The next day, on Saturday, the teacher sent a second message asking for the kids to read the first chapter of this new book and do the quiz, because every book has 5 chapters. At the end of every chapter, there is a 10-question quiz. But it was due by 6 p.m. that night. Now, what is the rush with this? With her, everything seemed to be last minute, like in such a hurry. And I thought, what if we had gone away for the long weekend? Or what if we didn't bring a computer or a phone or something to access the internet with? You know, that kind of last minute expectation just doesn't work with every family, and certainly not for us. And the poster that announced the new Fiction Express books was for all the grades from grade 4 to high school. And as fate would have it, I have 4 other kids in that school in grade 4, Anneke's 5, 6, 9, and 11. So all of them had these books to read. But not one of their teachers wrote to me asking for the kids to read a chapter and do the quiz. Only Anneke's. Now, do you understand my frustration here? Especially on a long weekend. Seriously, we don't get that many here. Give me a break. Now, let's talk about the biggest reason we did this in the first place. Language and social integration. Because honestly, that was the whole point. That's what I told the principal. But here's the reality. She wasn't making any friends, and she wasn't picking up Spanish the way we had hoped. And instead of gaining confidence, she was just starting to shut down. She didn't understand what was happening in class, and she wasn't engaged. At one point, she was even falling asleep in school. Maybe not one point. Maybe there was several times she fell asleep in school. It's not because she was lazy. It's because she was lost and bored. And her teacher was suggesting that I take her to the doctor to get her looked at. Now, that's a tough place for a kid to be in. And the teacher told me that she was bringing in someone to help her from a bilingual school. But that only happened twice. And we've been in school now for months. So she was not getting any extra help in class. And again, these classes are big, over 40 students. So we had to ask ourselves, are we helping her or are we hurting her by keeping her there? And the answer became clear. So we made the decision to pull her out for the rest of this year, not because the system is bad, not because El Salvador is failing, but because this situation wasn't working for one of our children. The rest are still in the public school. So right now we're homeschooling. And here's the key part. We're still using the same Salvadorian curriculum that she had in class because we believe in it. We just needed to remove the barriers around it. And next year we'll look for a better fit because at the end of the day, not all schools are the same. Not all teachers are the same. And every child learns differently. This isn't a story about failure. It's a story about adjusting learning, and doing what's best for your children. Now, if you've ever had to make a difficult decision for your child's education, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. And if you're considering moving to El Salvador and putting your kids in school here, ask me anything you like. Thank you all who have stayed to the end of this video. So that was an update on one of our children, but how about Maria and the boys? Maria is such a great help around the house. I can really focus my energies on my YouTube channel and working on our business here in El Salvador. I took the boys to the dentist to get their fillings last week. David had 4 cavities and Alfredo had 3. So Alfredo was super scared, and I totally understand. He has had a very hard first few years of his life that involved abuse, and this little boy does not want to feel any pain again, and I don't blame him. So David went first and Alfredo watched, taking it all in before his turn, but in the end I think he realized it wasn't a big deal. Now, I can say that the dentists here don't use anesthesia for just fillings, only for root canals and extractions. Like in Canada, they use anesthesia for everything. So it's a little different here, but it still was not painful for the kids. And then it was David's birthday last week, so we celebrated that with Sarita ice cream cake. Okay, how do we sing happy birthday in Spanish?
I don't know.
Cumpleaños feliz, cumpleaños feliz, cumpleaños feliz, cumpleaños feliz. Okay, in English? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear David, happy birthday to you. Okay, gotta blow out the candles. Uh-oh, gotta make a wish. He is now 13 years old, and Sunday before Mother's Day after church, our church group went out to eat at the Olive Garden, and I've never been to Olive Garden until that one time here in El Salvador. It is definitely a pricier restaurant compared to local chains here. It was, for 7 people, it was pretty expensive. So on Mother's Day, instead of eating out again and then of course having to wait in line for hours because everyone's taking their mom out to eat, so the lineups would be just insane, we decided, we came home, we ordered food in, and we got another ice cream cake from Sarita to celebrate Mother's Day. And this Sunday coming up, we are going to the beach, so that'll make for some good videos, I think. If you're still interested in helping us support Maria and the boys, you can donate to either my Lightning wallet, that link is in the description below, or my on-chain wallet, the QR code is here. And I just want to thank the 3 people who've donated to us so far. I had 2 anonymous donations for a total of $30, and then I have a donation from Steve from Belgium who sent us $25. Thank you so much, Steve, and the 2 anonymous people. It really helps. As I mentioned, the dentist visits for $25 for each of the cleanings, and then $25 per filling. So we've already spent about $225 on the dentist just alone, right? The bus is $25 per each child each month, but I know God always provides for us, and I have faith that He will continue to do so. And if you're thinking of making El Salvador your home, or you are on your way back here and you want to be part of a community of like-minded individuals, send me your WhatsApp number to youtube@hagenars.com. We also meet every Monday night at 7 p.m. El Salvador time. See the description for the link below. Oh, and don't forget, I also have a second channel called Making It in El Salvador, where just this week I showed you all my miniature things that I picked up from Temu to help build my daughter's Barbie house from scratch. It's a total DIY project. Check it out, and we'll see you in the next one. A gecko just ran across the wall in front of me.
Don't forget to hit the like button.